Welcome back to Can We Talk for a Minute podcast. Um, I am Arthur Felipe Morris, here with my brethren, Richard and Corey. How was you guys' New Year's?
Mine was cool, man. Mine was cool. I ain't do much. Just stayed in. I ain't doing much at all. Actually, I was asleep when the ball dropped. What about you?
Yeah, I took a sip of whiskey and was asleep.
Whiskey.
Old man problem.
Hold on, who got you drinking whiskey?
One of my partners, man.
Okay.
Left the bottle, you know.
What you do,
What
Richie
about
Rich?
I ain't do shit, man. I've been in a couple corners, man, and shit. It was over. I thought I was gonna be sleeping at 5 o'clock. I was worried yesterday.
Yeah. Episode 3, first one of the new year. I think this will be a good one, and I want to thank the people who've been tuning in. Been getting a lot of positive feedback. Wish that people would give us a little more feedback directly on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Suggestions for future topics in the comments, all of those things would be appreciated. This isn't something that we're trying to monetize, so we're not really, asking for likes and subscribers to try to, monetize a following or anything, but it's just great to know, what people think about the topics and, the information and things we're putting out there. So with that being said, our topic for today is attention seeking, and how it's affecting not only us as men, but women, relationships, society, business as a whole. I could remember being in college. I was taking some electronics courses, and one of my classes was actually social networking. And that was back when it was Black Planet. And it was still on the tail end of the freaky chat rooms, where people would make up the little freaky names and, So Sexy 513 and Mr. Long Stroke 513 and all of that stuff. And so I was pretty much in school during the inception of MySpace as well as Facebook. And I got to see it all from, the beginning. And I remember a friend of mine back on MySpace, he came home from prison. It's like one of my friends from the neighborhood. He came home from prison, and he just did about 4 or 5 years. And the first time he got some money, I remember he posted a picture of himself with the money. I think it's about $60,000, $70,000 cash on a bed on MySpace. Blew my mind. I had never seen, anything like that. I mean, we all seen pictures of our fathers and uncles holding up money and, photos in a photo album, but just something like that for the world to see it blew my mind, especially knowing his situation and him being on parole. And I remember asking him, why did you do that? And he was like, I had to let everybody know that I'm back to get money. So my question was, who is everybody? What everybody are you referring to? Because you put that on the internet. I mean, I could see if you was, rode through the neighborhood and threw money out the car or something to let everyone know you were back to get money. But you put this on the internet for the world to see, law enforcement and all. And, he was kind of he was just perplexed. Like he couldn't even understand what he had done. But that kind of ushered in the era of me watching men who normally used to hide from the camera set themselves out there in public settings. And then I remember another picture, two younger guys I know, they posted a picture holding up money. This was the first time I saw someone holding up money on the internet. They both posted a picture holding up, big wads of cash in a nightclub. And I remember the talk back and forth across the MySpace timeline. I can't remember exactly how the MySpace timeline used to go, but I remember people just like, who is that person? Who is him? Who is that? And from there, it just spiraled out of control. Like it was just one thing led to another, and one method of attention seeking might die down and a new one sprung. A female friend of mine, I remember telling her, like, go back and look at how you dressed and how you maneuvered on MySpace compared to how you are on Facebook. And she thought she was the same. Then when she went back, she realized she was pretty much fully covered on MySpace. And it blew her mind. Wow. And I was like, yeah. I was like, but I watched that. I watched you change over the years, even when you might didn't notice that you were changing. Rich, so what was your first experience with watching people do things for attention online?
I remember it stuck out more in my head. Of course, the pictures, it's visual, so it's always gonna stick out. But I remember people getting online and just saying outlandish things. Whether it be just like the first thing that comes to their mind, or the first thing they would say that they knew would garner attention, or just like getting online and just disrespecting other people. And so, like when I got to Facebook a little bit later. I wasn't the last one to it, but I wasn't one of the first. And I got on there for business. But then, I got on there and I started seeing people just say it went from just like regular, plain, everything being kind of level. Then motherfuckers just started seeing shit that was, off the Richter scale. It was just wow. Like, I can't think of any examples, but and even to this day, it still be the same thing. You'll see people get on there, they might not have anything to say, ain't nothing that comes to their mind, so they'll just quote music lyrics or just say the dumbest thing or whatever's trending, whatever it is to garner the attention. So that's when I sort of realized, like, people aren't getting on here to post this as somewhere where they get their thoughts across, or something they have in their mind or in their heart. It's just really people just getting on here to say stuff to get people talking and give them attention. So after that, I kind of I get on there to get chuckles and laughs at it from time to time. Like, I was kind of like, man, this is some bullshit. But not everybody's on the same thing. But no, I think it was just people get on here just saying anything to get the likes or the comments coming back. That's what I really remember the first.
What about you, Corey?
I think what stands out to me, the first initial things I used to hear would be just when people started saying negative stuff about other people and other people's situation. And the second thing, that probably more importantly, is what stood out, it was people would listen to what they were saying like they had they had the right to say it, but they didn't have necessarily the achievements to say it. Like, we all got our opinions, but they would come for people that, probably was not necessarily the achievements. It was just people that, and better way of putting it, I seen a whole bunch of nobodies become somebody. That's probably the easiest way to put it. And in the regular world, it was a lot of people that I didn't, not me, but a lot of people wasn't really familiar with them. But when social media hit, that made them a little bit more popping. And, and then you'll see somebody that may know them just via social media, and they have a totally different imagery of them as compared to who they really are in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were coming back from birthday bash or BET Awards weekend in Atlanta or something, and we were driving up the highway, and I think we got to that, I think it was what, Cleveland, Tennessee, and we got pulled over. And the police decided to search the car. Well, they took us through a lot of different things, but I won't get into that on air. But so they had us on the side of the road for maybe an hour before they finally got around to just basically telling us they were going to search the car whether we liked it or not. And they searched the car. They took us, through all of the loops. And once all of that was over with and we were back in the car, well, before we could even get back in the car, remember my phone started pinging. And I looked at my phone and this message upon message of people like, are you okay? What's going on? Are you okay? And I'm like, well, how do these people know, that we just got pulled over? I'm thinking maybe they drove by and saw us. And then I think you said the same thing, Corey, like, your phone was going off. But long story short, one of the younger homies that was with us had posted on Twitter that we'd been pulled over and the police were searching the car, and he gave all of the details. And I remember asking him, like, what made you think the general public needed to know that? What made you think that I wanted the general public to know that we got pulled over? What even made you think that I wanted anyone to know that I was out of town? And his mouth just dropped. He just couldn't understand it. But he was a, younger college kid, and he was just in tune with, posting his life on social media and his every move, every interaction. And with us, being older, I didn't appreciate it at all. And again, that's become the norm now. Like that very thing back there that I was almost at the point of, wanting to cut him off about that. And now that's become the norm. People want attention for everything. Getting a tooth pulled from the dentist at the dentist. Look at me. I'm going into the dentist. They're about to pull this tooth. Pray for me, Facebook. I need y'all.
I think what it is, the older people, we come from a different lifestyle and a different generation, a different thought process, where whatever we doing, we used to want to just keep it in the dark, and the people that knew was the ones that supposed to know, and everybody else wasn't supposed to know. Now they want everybody to know. And I remember that situation right there because I remember we was in the cell phone store, and the gentleman you talking about, he got to talking to some white guy. And the white guy was talking about, yeah, I'm on Twitter, this and that. And I remember y'all joking on him because he said the white guy was like, yeah, follow me. My name on Twitter is Big Balls Bob. And yeah, I was like, man, you can't be following no man called Big Balls Bob, man. What the hell y'all doing on this Twitter? And he was like, man, I'm just following him just to see what he's doing. I said, you can't be trying to follow nobody to see what somebody named Big Balls Bob is just doing. You don't do that. But he didn't see nothing wrong with it. And, and then I remember y'all saying like, hey, who else you following? He said, well, I be following Puff Daddy. He said, man, why you following Puff Daddy, man? Puff Daddy don't want you following him.
Yeah, Puff Daddy don't give a fuck about you.
But their thought process is, and the crazy thing, their thought process is, let me just put everything out there. They want to be a little bit more transparent, where, the older people, we want to be a little bit more hidden. But theoretically, though, when you think back on that, though, he was just a little bit more advanced than we was when it came to that. We didn't understand what that all was about. If we would have had his thought process then and figured out a way to try to use it in a better situation, there's no telling where we would be at. Because this was right when Facebook was just getting started, and he was on Twitter, and he was going from Twitter to Facebook. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's with us being older, we just got to make sure we're watching like the younger, because the younger people, that's just where it's going, period. Either, even if we think it's right or wrong, that's just the direction it's going. But, as they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And we get kind of stuck in that, like, nah, we don't do that. Nah, we don't do that. I'm not saying we're supposed to change our morals or anything like that, because some of that stuff they doing, hell nah, I better not catch one of you guys doing that. But they just a little bit more open, man. And I don't know what made them be more open than us. And then it'd be crazy when you see an older person trying to be more open like the younger people, and then they don't pan out right. Because certain stuff is we just too old to do.
Yeah. But you can't say that to people nowadays though. Too old to do. Like that doesn't, blow over well with people. A lot of people were on this whole 40 is the new 20 and all of that stuff.
But maybe not too old, but you should just be a little bit more, you should be too sophisticated or too polished or too experienced. That's probably a better way to put it. Like you just too experienced. So some of that stuff right there, it's big to do when it's your first time doing it. But when you have done it, 3 and 4 times or whatever the case, it's nothing to you. And then when you 40 something and you making a big deal out of it, it's like you should be a little bit more experienced in that. That it's cool to do, but it ain't necessarily cool to do to show the world.
Well, even better, I would say that at 40 plus, 35 plus, you should simply know yourself enough to not necessarily need the opinions and attentions of the world. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to put my outfit on the bed and say, Facebook or Instagram, how do you think I'm going to look in this? You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm just going to put it on how I put it on. And I'm going to roll like that. I don't need the opinions of the world. I mean, I might text one of you all and ask your opinion, but I don't need the attention of the world. But like you said, the dilemma kind of sort of turned, the tide turned when we started promoting parties, when we started doing the upscale affairs. And here it is, we were the type of people who had always shunned the light, or the public eye. Now we're trying to do something public, and we found ourselves at the foot of those same people, like bro, who was put our stuff out on Twitter. And you have to go to these people who we maybe sort of looked at as, I won't refer to anyone as a nobody, but just they were somebody on social media and maybe didn't hold a lot of weight in real life. You found yourself having to go to those people, like post this flyer, or could you promote this for me? Because that goofy, the things that we consider to be goofy and attention seeking had actually gained them a following.
Okay, well, can we say that they gained a following because people was wanted to see what they were doing. They was making their situation look entertaining. So once again, wouldn't that say that they just was probably, some people just was more ahead of the curve? The younger people were. And back then, I don't even know if what they were doing, that they was doing it for attention. I think it was something new. I think kind of later on went to attention. I think back then, even the guy you talked about, I don't think he was doing it back then for attention. It was just like he got a new game. He just wanted to try to play the new game as much as possible.
Yeah.
I don't think that the attention thing, I think, came a little later. But initially, I think it was just something new, and they just wanted to try to use it as much as possible.
I agree. I got a question for you, Rich. When did you start to notice social media posts going from conversations to just pics and videos. And then, you know, it carried over into a lot of times women being nude in the news feed or on their posts. Like, do you recall around what time that you started seeing those first nudes pop out?
And I want to say it's probably about, I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago. Because I think I joined Facebook in 2008, and it ran for a while. You know, like I said, it kind of started off kind of calm, mildly. Then it started, you know, ratcheting it up, getting a little bit wilder and wilder. You know, with things, you know, like the wild things being said. But then, like when people really got into like actually posting pictures and really figured out the whole picture thing on Facebook, it just, you know, the conversation stopped from, you know, a certain sect of people. You know, people just didn't, you know, they didn't have to say wild things. They just do the pictures. Like, no conversation needed, you know, throw a little, you know, catch line, you know, quote something and just put the picture with it. And it told the whole story, you know, going live, just standing there, you know, playing with their hair or, you know, saying, you know, brushing their hair or whatever. But that's around the same time that Instagram really started cracking heavy. So you saw, like, you know, the people transition, the people who really didn't have a whole lot of thoughts or, you know, anything really, you know, positive or negative to say on Facebook to garner attention and start conversations, they stuck to what they were good with, just doing the pictures and the videos. And most of the people migrated over to IG. And then we got the IG, you know, I dig IG. I'll scroll, I'll get on, I'll fuck with it for a minute, scroll through, you know, see whatever I can see. But I'm a person, I just like the conversation and hear what people got to say going back and forth. So, you know, I always kind of like, I still fool with Facebook a whole lot, you know, and, you know, even though I don't really do too much of either or right now, but, you know, I'd rather hear somebody talking than just see their picture, you know, saying, what's old quote, a picture's worth 1,000 words. But if you already posted the same picture over and over and over again, you know, those words are redundant. So like, I want to say about 2013, and that's when, you know, you kind of had a split. You still get it. You got people who do pictures, or, you know, try to do a video and try to get the point across, and you get people who just say shit. So
I remember a guy, and again, just another guy from the neighborhood, convicted murderer, you know, actually, you know, done his time. I think he did maybe 15 years and came home. I think he maybe went back to jail a couple of times after that. But I say that to say, I remember him posting a video of him at the dentist and pretty much saying he asked for prayers. He said he had a real bad toothache and he wanted prayers while he got his tooth removed. And for me, knowing him personally, it just blew my mind. I'm like, bro, like, you out of all people posted a video of yourself on social media asking prayers because you're getting your tooth pulled.
But that's the thing though. That's the thing though. Once you start reaching out there and asking and grabbing for attention, it's kind of hard to stop. You know, because that's a ball. Like it's like, you know, it's like the snowball effect. You know, at one point, you know, you dip your toe in it, you know, do a thing, and you know, you might get some attention. And like, the worst thing they can do is give you attention because you just start grabbing for more and more and more. So now at some point, you videoing yourself or taking pictures throughout the day, no matter how small it may be. You might be in the grocery store, you know, you might be wiping snow off the car, and you can be doing anything. But at some point, like once you get a little bit of taste of attention, that's when it goes overboard. You start asking and looking for attention everywhere you go, no matter what you're doing, how small and silly it. Like it turned to killer and they ask for prayer. You know what I'm saying? For a tooth pull. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So now once it gets going, it's something going, and you ask, they begging for it.
And
you know,
guess what though?
Mm-hmm.
Killers need attention too, man. Come on, man.
And it's been like, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't there been some people get in trouble like for actually either telling them what they were doing or showing themselves and seeing a crime, like not even just seeing locally, but all over where people like,
oh yeah,
yeah, sure. So like, yeah,
for sure.
Know, like, yeah.
I know a guy right now, he's still in prison. I don't know him personally. I just remember we were social media friends. And this was early on when you first was able to post a video. He went live in a hotel room, you know, transacting some street stuff with some Hispanics. And he was pretty much saying, I mean, he was just telling all of his business right there on the live feed or the video. I think from my understanding, he got arrested right at the very hotel he was at shooting the video. But again, and that's the thing that I want to try to dig into is when did the need or lust for attention start to defy logic? You know, because for me, if I'm doing something wrong or trying to be sneaky, the last thing I'm going to do is record myself or, you know, even post about it. I mean, you know, we've all been, matter of fact, I'll give you a good example. I was on a plane a couple years ago and I was behind someone that was my social media friend. Now, for me, it was get up, get to the airport, make my flight, get to where I'm going. I wasn't thinking about posting when I was heading to the airport or when I got to the airport, saying goodbye, Cincinnati. You know, as I wasn't, you know, that's just not how I think. And I remember, because me and the person were on the same flight, and I remember looking at their page, and their whole morning was detailed, from when they woke up to showing the tickets, you know, showing their route to when they arrived. And to me, I just couldn't understand why did someone need the world to know, you know, that they were, you know, just going on a trip. I didn't ever understand that. Why would me going on a trip be something I would need attention for? Like, look at me, I'm going on a trip. I didn't get it. But again, it's become the norm now. You know, people don't move without telling you that they're getting ready to move.
Okay, but haven't we always sought attention? But maybe just we didn't have that platform to seek attention. For instance, if you went into you bought a chain to get attention. You bought new shoes to get attention. You know, when you go in the club, you go in the strip club, you throwing money to get attention. Now if you go to the club, you going through the no wait line, the express line to get the attention. So is it just that social media is just putting us a different lane for us to showcase and to get their attention? I mean, when you're going into a club and you're going through the no wait line, you don't know who's in that regular line that you're spending money in front of to get in there quicker than them.
I agree with that. One of the highlights of my life, I'll never forget. I had, you know how I was about jewelry. So I was at the peak of my jewelry game. You know, my jewelry was 100% official. And I can't remember the club in Atlanta, but it was one of those big weekends, again, BET Awards, birthday bash, something like that. And there was a special line for anyone who had a booth. And the people who ran the compound and the other clubs texted me and said that whoever purchased the booth needed to be there because it was getting crowded and they needed you there so they could get the booth set up. And I remember walking into that line and it was guys who were just like me from around the country. You feel me? Some stuff was liver than mine. Some stuff, you know, wasn't as live as mine, but you know, you just was right there in that moment with your A-likes from all around the country, maybe even around the world. You feel me? That felt good to me. Like it was more self-fulfilling I didn't need to pull out my phone and video everyone in the line and say, look at the people I'm in the company of. You get where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't need that. It was more self-fulfillment for me than it was attention seeking, if that makes sense. It's like looking in the mirror and saying, wow, my arms done got big. That's different than posting, wow, look at my arms, they done got big. You get where I'm coming from? So that applies to the chain or the watch. Is, wow, my watch is nice versus posting, hey, look at my watch, isn't it nice? That's two totally different mindsets.
It is, but on the flip side, it's the updated mindset. It's like, you only could go to the club to showcase your chain. But then they opened up the strip club. Now I got this new lane to go showcase my chain. So couldn't social media just be like the new club to showcase my chain, to showcase your achievements?
I would say no. And I'm saying no because when you were in a strip club, you were in a room full of people who came to do the exact same thing you came to do. Just like I said, when I was in that line going into the club, these are people who purchased a booth from around the country for this particular event. So we all kind of sort of had the same mindset. But when you post something to the general public, you know, it's just different. I mean, a woman who's a teacher twerking in a strip club on vacation isn't the same as a woman who is a teacher twerking on her news feed. That's two totally different things.
Okay, so what you got to, this is kind of a different angle. So what's your thought process on this then? A woman can take a picture of her in a bikini or whatever the case may be, or twerking, not twerking just because it's a picture. Just, it could be a picture of her twerking. She'll post that picture on social media, right? But she won't hang that same picture in the house in the living room.
Right, because she don't want her mother to come over and see it, or her brother, maybe. But they see it on social media though.
Okay. So my question still is, how is it that you will post a picture for everybody to see, but you won't hang a picture in your house for your most closest family and friends to see? But I guess they can see it on social media too, though.
Yeah, your family see that stuff on social media. Because even if you're not friends with them, somebody will screenshot it and send it to them. Like, look at your daughter or look at your son.
Yeah.
And I think that all goes back to
is that going after attention doing that though? Or is that just posting your achievements, you look nice in a nice bikini?
That's trivial. I mean, because you can't speak to a person's mindset on one instant. You don't really start to understand a person until you see them consistently do something. You follow me?
So what is attention seeking then?
Hold on. Say what you were gonna say, Rich, before I respond to Corey.
Well, I think it all goes back to your intent. Like, no, going back to the conversation of doing things on social media to get attention versus like you buying your chain, your shoes, whatever, going to the club. Like, you know, whenever I go out, I've always, and I'm not even trying to judge anybody or compare anybody to me. You do what you want to in life. I'm not really tripping, but you know, I know when I go out with my friends, I know that the general intent is to have fun first and foremost. Whether it be, you know what I'm saying, just getting out, hanging with your people, you know, having a good laugh, having a drink, you know what I'm saying, looking at people, you know, pursuing women, you know, women trying to get, you know, bump into a man, you know what I'm saying, they want to catch up with. And I always thought that was the tip when I went out. You know, that's why when it really changed too, the whole, booth thing, and you had to have a booth and you had to be kind of isolated and just seen and not interact. I didn't really like that part of going out, So I always thought it was, you going out to have a good time. If you buying jewelry, it's because, you're a jewelry person. And, you know what I'm saying? You've been working, you've been doing your thing, and you know what I'm saying? You kind of like a trophy for yourself. You feel me? And, then when it goes to social media, though, the whole thing about the twerking, you'll twerk or you'll take the seductive picture of the picture where you're wearing something a little bit too revealing. You're showing to everybody you don't know. That's when it comes in. You look for attention. You're out there because are you having a good time posting a picture? Are you doing it for fun? Are you doing it for attention? That's kind of where it comes down to me. And I'm not knocking anybody for doing it for either one, but like it's certain situations where it could come back to bite you. Having too much fun could come back to bite you. But when you really going for the attention, because if you're the woman out here, you've been putting in the work, you've been going to the gym, you've been eating a little bit better, you've been doing this, that, or whatever. You're proud of how you look, and you want everybody else to acknowledge it. Single, free to do whatever you want to, move how you want to. You posted, all these pictures. You've been posting pictures. You know what I'm saying? Comments, reactions, thank yous, thank you, hon, thank you, sweet, whatever it is. And you're doing all this for so long. And then you may bump into a man who doesn't know you from social media. And then it kind of turns into like, okay, now you family sees your shit and like, damn, like, shorty, I just got to dig you for a while, but I go back and do some research on you through your own, source of, exposing yourself, and then it kind of turns into a conflict. So, the tension thing is, it's a double-edged sword. It can be great for you, but in some cases it can be hurtful for you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Hey, man, you said that was so deep, I forgot what Corey asked.
Because Corey wasn't talking about shit, man.
But I mean, even speaking on Corey, because he always been, Mr. Behind the Scenes, you feel me? And I've been seeing his little pecs in the news feed a little bit lately, you know what I'm saying? Up close pictures and lip gloss and all types of stuff. And I won't even speak on his partner, you know what I mean? His partner, he does a photo shoot every morning. I pulled up the other day and it was, he had a camera crew outside.
Hey, guess what?
Video
Y'all ain't seen Nan Peck, man. Cut the game.
Man, come on, man. Boy, look, man. Cut the bullshit.
Y'all see a picture or two in the story. And that thing gonna stay up there for 24 hours.
I seen a glute and some tight sweatpants. That's what I seen.
Hey, man, you definitely a side boob going on, man. You had a side boob when I see you.
Man. But again,
but what we sitting there talking about, though, I'm still curious is all the things that we sit there saying, like, is it just a natural evolution or evolving as the people? We all seek attention, even as a kid. Family come over and one of the kids get to dancing in front of everybody and things of that nature. And now it just seems like it's just a bigger platform, and it looks like people just want, some people may be looking at for attention, then some people just leaving like a blueprint of their life, not a blueprint, a fingerprint of their life. Y'all don't think so?
I disagree because I've been a lot of places, like, before, I had a passport way before people was posting pictures of just receiving a passport. You know what I mean? I've been all over the place. Like I said, I still have the cameras with the SD card with the pictures on them. You follow me? But I never felt the need to post them for the world to see. For me, and I can only speak for myself, I'm big on audience, right? So if I go to the jewelry store and I come back wanting to show off my watch, I want to show that off to watch connoisseurs. You feel me? Because if I post that on social media, and let's just say a guy who's struggling and working at McDonald's sees that, that doesn't blow over as well as with my friend who also owns a Rolex or a Breitling or AP, whatever, you know, whatever the flow is at the time. You feel me? So I'm big on reading the room and understanding who's in the room. Like I said, a strip club, if we throwing money in a strip club, that's not a flex. That's what you do in a strip club. People came to the strip club to throw money. That's not the same thing as holding up money on your social media news feed in a pic or video for no apparent reason. That's two totally different things. And I think that's where the line became blurred. You know, it went from people just not understanding who's all on social media. So when I see, for example, when I see a woman that I know personally get naked for social media, one of the things I think about is, you know, the type of men who admired this woman from afar, right? And a certain caliber of men who have admired this woman from afar. Now she's showing herself to the very guys who couldn't sit at the cool table in the lunchroom in school. You feel me? Everyone is getting to see you nude.
So does that
There's no
devalue her?
privilege to it anymore.
So does that devalue her?
I don't think that as human beings we could add or take away the value of a person, but it would change the way that I actually would look at them, you know. I mean, it might raise her value to certain people, you know, but if I held her to a certain regard, you know, it would kind of change my opinion of it. You know, the same way that you holding up some money to your ear would change my opinion of you.
You say I'm popping then, huh?
Yeah,
You're gonna say I'm popping then. Look at my nigga, he out there popping.
Yeah, nah. Look at that corny motherfucker, man. You know, lost his rabbit ass mind. that's what I'm gonna be saying. And
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, like, we always saying they seeking attention, but are they really seeking attention? Or are they just or they just putting stuff out there and just on a bigger platform? I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Me and Rich talked about this before. Like I said, the one thing about, like you said, social media documents a person's life when they put certain things out there, right? So you could, and matter of fact, that's a great transition over into the whole plastic surgery era, right? Because what I'm starting to see now is, you know, the first wave of women who, you know, got their body done and rushed to the news feed to show off their new bodies, right? It was a lot of oohs and ahs because it was new, it was uncommon, you know? So you seeing this woman who, you know, maybe being cute, you know, but didn't have the best figure. Now she got the figure to go with it. You know, it's a wow thing when you see that. Like, oh, wow. But so many people, you know, with anything, you know, it becomes affordable over time as, you know, the technology, you know, gets a lot less expensive. People could afford it more. Because, I mean, I remember, you know, a couple women that I know personally who got theirs done way back in like 1998. And it costed like $50,000 or something like that. You know what I mean? And even back then, they wanted to slide it in. It wasn't like, you know, they didn't show the whole process. Like, look at me walking into the doctor to get my body done. Look at me recovering from getting my body done. One woman in particular, I remember she called me to bring her a few things while she was going through the healing process, but it was just more so she got it done. She stayed off the scene until she healed. And then just when she popped back out, it wasn't like, look at me, I got my body done. It was just, you know, my clothes fit a lot different now. And, you know, it kind of eased you into seeing it. You get where I'm coming from? Because it wasn't like pop right in your face. It was just, you probably had to ask yourself a couple of times, like, wow, that's something different about her.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, once you came to realize, like, wow, either she been working, because you didn't know back then. So it's like, wow, either she been working out or, because, you know, we didn't know so much about surgeries back then. But you just saw it and you know, you admired it. But what I was saying is now you seeing so many people or with so many women getting it to where now it's starting to spawn a critique. You know, it went from the woman just being able to post a picture once she got it done and everybody going, ooh, ah. But now it's so many other women doing it. It's like, well, what's next? So that same woman now who gets her body done has to twerk with it now. You know, mine jiggles a little different than those women over there who got theirs done. You get what I'm saying? And then I saw one woman here recently, she posted hers right after she got it done or healed or whatever, and people laughed at her. They said she looked better, you know, before she got the surgery. And she was off of social media for about 3 weeks after that. Then I remember she popped back up and she was just back to posting pictures of her face. Like, I'm so fine, I'm so beautiful, you know, just trying to, you know, get her esteem back up. So yes, I would say that a lot of it is attention seeking because it escalates, you know, you go from shaking your ass to people it's the same metaphor as you said with the car that keeps coming around the block. You know, it comes around the first time is, wow, that car, that's a bad motherfucker. The second time you realize what kind of car it is, like, wow, that's a Bugatti. The third time you realize who it is driving the Bugatti. By the last time you see it, you know who the person is. Like, oh, that's just Jerry. You feel me? The car it's that quick. It just wears off on you. So it's the same way with the things that people do for attention. Yes, it gets you attention initially, but then it wears off. So then you see these people start to do other things to try to get more attention. And people are even going back, getting more surgery now. You know, the attention wore off from the first surgery. So whether it be a bigger ass, a smaller waist, get their arms done, whatever it is, people are actually going back to get more surgery to get more attention.
Never in the cycle, man. Never in the cycle.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay, so are we saying women getting their bodies done for attention? They're not just getting it done just to make them feel better?
Again,
I mean, you know,
like,
some of them may be getting it done for medical reasons too that we're not aware of.
oh, for sure. I know plenty of women who have gotten breast reductions, gastric bypass, all types of different things. And like I said, like I know one of the first few women that I know personally from Cincinnati who got it back in the 90s. And it was women who, you know, one had been pretty thin or, you know, for most of her life. The other one had been heavy set for most of her life. And, you know, she was tired of being, you know, cute and heavy set. So she went and got her body done. But again, so I would say a person like that got it for their own personal self-esteem reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you add in the internet, and that's just the big caveat. Once you add in the internet and you start promoting that to people, like, look at me, I got my body done, or look at me, I have money, that raises the question of, are you doing it for attention now? So I'm saying, yes, I do believe a lot of people do certain things to get attention. And yes, there are some who just maybe did it for medical reasons or just, you know, wanted to do something for themselves because they could afford it to boost their self-esteem. No different than a man going to buy a chain. But again, like I said, it's a difference between saying, look at this big chain I just bought, bro, I'm the man now, versus me bypassing you to go to social media and make a video of myself at the jewelry store spending the money on the chain and saying, everybody look at me. You get what I'm saying? That's not about me anymore. That's about them. That's about me putting on the show for them.
Or what if they got a rap label? They need to let everybody know they rap label. So they're putting it out there, showing a chain off, like, yeah, you know, we the new Death Row. To get the attention, I guess what I'm saying is they buy the chain, they put the chain on social media to get the attention. Once they get your attention, then they come with the music, but they trying to get your attention first.
Good question. Rich, you've been kind of quiet over there. I'll let you respond first.
Well, with that, you know, in attention, like it's multifaceted. You know, I'm like I said, I'm not knocking anybody for wanting attention. You know, I just grew up a little bit different where I didn't need it. I had a lot of focus on me in the home, but you know, something like, you know, it's just, you know, everybody needs attention at some point. You know, but you know, how you go about getting it is really what's defining you, and then who you getting it from might not always be who you want it from. So one thing is I'm thinking about when y'all talking about that, I think the attention thing, more than, you know, it's a two-part thing. You know, it's much bigger because of social media and the internet. So it's much more big, it's much bigger, and it's out there and it's everywhere, and it's 24/7, it's nonstop. You get it from tons of different angles. But like, I think another huge thing that changed with attention is like the sway in just the, you know, the population, you know, especially in comparative of genders. Because I, you know, looking back at it, I was just talking about it the other day, like, I remember when a woman, you know, woman was a prized possession, you know, because, you know, the men had to work harder, you know, men used to have to do things to get attention from a woman, you know, to, you know, get their attention. Like, you know, he had to, you know, step up, he had to be, men had to be well-rounded, you know, be in the right spot, you know, be a little bit dapper, you know, be able to put his words together and all this and that, you know. And I think things really started changing because you look back at it, you know, a woman was a woman and she was who she was. You know, some women were beautiful, some were cute, you know, some had other things they brought to the table, but it is what you wore. Now, I think now with it being so many, and to me, I don't know the exact numbers, but it seems like there's so many more women out here than it is men. So I think things have changed, and that's why the attention just seems, the need for attention just seems so much more inverted. You know, it seems like it's more women just, look at me, I'm beautiful. You know, let me show you I'm beautiful so you'll give me some attention. Because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of men out here to give attention to every woman. So I think it's one of the things that's changed a whole lot. So you look at it like, you know, the woman who was just cute, you know, cute face, slender body, you know, kind of like laid back, meek, you know, not really loud or anything like that. That same woman, you know, it may have, you know, thrived in the 90s and still, you know, had dudes chasing her. You know, you bring to 2020, 2021, our current time, you know, that same woman who's just cool being cute, you know, dressed kind of mad or whatever, it doesn't seem like it's enough. So, you know, and we all know women, you know, saying people like that, you know, whereas they've gone from, you know, meek and humble to just all of a sudden, you know, the pictures just like in your face, 3 or 4 selfies a day, a video, and went live 3 different times. You know, they weren't something seductive. You know what I'm saying? They're getting the surgeries and, you know, the hair's always got to be popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the big eyelashes, you know, the super cut eyebrows, all the accessories and everything. So I think even that's almost part of survival when you look at it from a woman aspect. Like, you know, they doing this for, you know, they survival. You know, bringing in
to stay at the front of the race.
Yeah, because they got to do it. That's in a woman's DNA, like deep and rooted. Like they gotta have survival. They gotta find a man so that, you know, bear children. You know, not every woman's out here trying to have children, but like they gotta have it. And so like you look at that, like that's changed a lot. It's changed a lot over the last 20, 30 years. Like, you know, there used to be plenty of men getting at women. Now it's just like, you know, now the man has almost become the prize. Now he's just like, here, you put yourself on the stage, you show me what you got. If I like it, that's when I'm coming after you. And so it's almost like they're the jesters, like they're the, you know what I'm saying, they're the ones showing out here, showing out their peacock feathers.
I wrote an article I can't remember what I wrote it for now, but early 2000s, I remember that wave when the Fed started that whole thing where they were just sweeping entire groups of men off the streets. Like, you know, we saw publicly what happened with the BMF, but it happened in neighborhoods all across the country.
Yeah.
You know, even a few local rap labels in Cincinnati, you know, we seen that happen with just the rap labels. They turned the rap label into a gang, then swept the gang off the streets. And that's one of the things that I used to try to explain to women that I knew personally back then, was that if each one of those guys who got swept off the streets were getting money and had a certain stature, when you take them out of the dating pool, and let's just say that guy, just each guy had one woman and one side piece, right? That's two women, you know, that want a man who could provide that same lifestyle. So once you take those men off the street, let's just say you take 10 men off the street that, you know, that were well-to-do. That's 20 women, 20 attractive women looking back at the dating pool, trying to figure out basically whose man they could take at this point, you know, or who could they push out of position. So I agree with you. And one of the things that I've said was, I'm still from the generation where, and Corey can attest to this, where dark-skinned guys weren't necessarily popping. Like, dark-skinned guys weren't popping when I was growing up. And that also carries over into now where women refer to men as handsome and cute. Like, I don't think I heard that I was handsome until I was in my 30s. You know, I heard it from like my mother or something like that, but just a woman contacting me to let me know that I was handsome, I never really heard that early on. And so that's when I understood
I
that
always
change.
heard that. I always. Since I was 5, nigga.
All right. Well, since
I'm just
you
talking shit.
since you wanna flex, I'm about to crack your head. I'm about to crack your head. I remember.
We gotta liven it up a little bit. That's all, y'all. Go ahead.
I remember when this back in the day when we were younger, when having a Mitsubishi Eclipse souped up with the kid on it was lit, right? Then I remember when you, Corey, when it got the Diamante, right?
LX.
That was the luxury version.
Top dog.
He was the top dog.
Top dog.
But guess what?
Still wasn't shit.
That's my point. It still didn't yield women like you would think.
Back
you know what
then,
I'm saying?
definitely didn't. Yeah.
And now,
it was like you got that, but what else?
Yeah, and now you could get more. You could get women in a Camry. Now
like
you feel me? You can get women now because of your outfit, your glasses, your haircut. You know, the way that you articulate yourself on social media. There's a lot of different ways now that a woman will give you attention that you couldn't get off back then. So I'm saying that to say that I do 100% agree with what Rich is saying about women having to do certain things to be at the top of, for lack of better words, that food chain. But again, that's still, it makes you have to ask the question, where does it stop? Because they just did a whole documentary called Social Dilemma, basically showing that this attention is a drug. Someone's actually making money off of this drug. The companies, the marketing companies, social media, they're making money off of this attention drug. So where does it stop? You know, how far can this thing go?
That's a tough one to bust because I don't see the shit stopping. I mean, natural thought makes you think it's gotta stop, but like when and where? Like what's the breaking point? I don't see it. Because like you looking like it's just a new, different way to get attention every day, whether it be a new app, whether it be a new type of phone, whether it be, a new filter, anything. It's just a lot of people coming up with a lot of ways to get attention. So you might say my general, and it's crazy with the pandemic. With the pandemic, the world basically slowed down as far as us going outside and doing things outside of the house, recreation, dining, all that. But that's crazy because even with that hitting so hard, it cranked the attention need up. It cranked everything else up from being in the house where now you got to stay in the house. So now more focus is on, the phone or the social media or whatever it is you're going to get the attention. So it's one of the weirdest things, man. It's
and people show their true colors. I mean, me being a writer, I document this stuff. So a lot of times people will argue with me about something I actually observed them doing, but they didn't even realize they was doing it because they just so far gone on it. People really showed their true colors during this pandemic. Every insecurity, every need for attention, all that stuff came rushing to the forefront because, like you said, you couldn't go put on a nice dress or put on your chain and go be in the club and have everyone staring at you to make you feel good. Yeah. So now you're not sitting in the house with $3,000 worth of clothes on. You're in the house with a t-shirt, so now what do? You sit in the house with that t-shirt on and put a stack of money on the desk. Or if you're a woman, you twerk. That same fat ass that you were just, showing off in the club in a dress. Now you ain't got a dress on, now maybe in panties. So the pandemic definitely, it brought out people's true colors. And this whole attention thing, getting back to men, it messed up a lot of relationships. Because for one, something that I noticed years ago is the woman that you're with drew women to you. So if the women viewed your woman as, being at a certain level of attractiveness or stature or success, whatever it was, it kind of turned their eyes to you. Now, from a male perspective, you could just been a nobody that she just happened to like your conversation. You worked at a coffee shop, but now she take you to the Christmas party at the corporation she works at. Now you have all of these successful, attractive corporate women looking your direction. As a man, I'll be the first to admit that became hard to navigate. Like that initial influx of attention that we never got. And I tell women all the time, you take a woman who didn't necessarily have a nice figure, so she didn't get certain attention from certain types of men, and then she gets her body done, she's going to get an influx of attention. It was the same way with men. Once they start sweeping so many men off of the streets, men started to get that influx of attention, and that became extremely hard to navigate because now you got women pulling at you for your attention, begging for your attention. And at the same time, like we talked on the other podcast, you got a woman at home or a woman in your life that you at least attempting to be somewhat close to faithful to. But then it's like, how do you manage when you got 20, 30 women in your inbox, sending nudes, sending naked twerk videos? How do you manage that?
Mm-hmm. It's a tough one right there.
But isn't it a natural thing to just want attention? And couldn't it be a difference of just wanting attention, but it's a difference of good attention and bad attention.
What's
And
what's
maybe
what's good
what's
attention?
happening is we're not thinking if it's gonna be good or bad. We just want the attention.
That's the bad thing right there. Because like we said earlier, you a criminal and you post something for attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if there's nothing about you on the inside that's fascinating, like you don't do poetry, you can't play the saxophone, you can't dance, so you can't do none of these other things that other people are doing to get attention, what do? Show yourself doing crime. The only thing that you know how to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's bad attention, right? Because in most scenarios, it kind of sort of leads to people downfall.
So what's the difference between that and a rapper talking about his criminal activity?
Because a rapper more than likely is not necessarily doing it. Now we've seen scenarios where some rappers were doing it. Like, like for instance, like the guy Casanova that just got arrested in that RICO case up in New York. They hit him with a gang indictment. We saw Jeezy not get hit with the gang indictment when the BMF went down, right? So, I mean, I don't know Jeezy personally, but maybe he wasn't doing the same things that they were doing in the streets. Maybe he was just rapping about it and the feds knew about it. But that also goes back to something that you mentioned about the rap and the jewelry and the chain and all of those different things. What I've noticed over the years is sometimes guys or a group of guys get some money and they still trying to live by the old code, so they don't want to just buy some jewelry and turn the camera on themselves and say, look at me, right? So what they do is they go get an artist. And it's not even about music. It's like, I have an artist, now we're on stage, look at me, look at my jewelry, look at my money. You get where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it don't even be about the artist, it's about the person who putting the money behind the artist. Which is one of the very reasons that,
bigger than the artist.
Right, and that's one of the reasons I personally believe that a lot of local music around the country never takes off. Is because the people involved, they just so more focused on getting the attention from having a label and being on stage and paying for their artists to perform even though the song's not hot. But you on stage still and you showing off your jewelry and money. And again, that's just attention. Like, that doesn't have anything to do with music, because if it was about music, you'll spend that time, money, and effort in the studio, at least until you made a hit. Then once you made a hit, now it's like, okay, we popping. We could pop out now. You know what I mean? But most people pop out before the hit. The hit normally never comes. So then all you ever did was what? Be on stage exposing your hand.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like it's just a natural thing for people to want attention. Sometimes they just take it too far and they don't know when to stop. But and I think it's hard for them to utilize the attention that they're looking for. It's hard to what they call it, when you're trying to change the attention to money, where you may have some, social media influencers. So they're trying to figure out a way, the influence that they have, that they can use that to generate cash flow. So how can I use my attention to generate money? It's like, we go back to music. Most artists, music is bigger than their attention then. So with them just having good music, the attention comes.
Mhm.
Where now what's happening is people are able to get the attention, but they don't have a product. So I got everybody to look at me, but I don't have nothing to sell them.
Mhm.
Whereas the artists, they have the music or the art, and that's what's generating the attention to them. So now everybody's trying to figure out a way to get the attention without the product or the art. So it's like they putting the carriage before the horse.
Well, pay attention. People are being paid in attention. Attention is a form of currency now.
Mhm.
You know, people put so much out there only to receive attention back. You know, you see me out my hookup doing something to get it. Like, for instance, like, you know, back when we were promoting parties, I would never was, you know, completely out my hookup, but I would do and say certain things. Of course, I'm trying to, you know, gain a following because I'm gonna post this flyer for the party in a couple weeks. You know what I mean? So I want the biggest following that I could get, but at the same time, I'm big on my personal self-respect and the respect of my peers. So I'm not going to do something too far out of my norm to where I'm gonna have the people whose opinion really matter to me looking at me funny. And again, and it also goes back to the need for everyone's attention versus needing attention. Of course, when you purchased your first watch, you called me and said, look at me. When you purchased your nicest vehicle, you called me and said, look at me. You put on your best outfit, whether we was going somewhere out of town or to one of the parties, you told me, look at me. I'm official, right?
Mhm.
But that's different than doing that for the world. Because once you need the opinion of the world, what you also gonna get is people who not gonna agree with you. Somebody's gonna say your shirt is too tight. Somebody's gonna say you too old to have on all of those colors. You know?
Hey, quit
Some-
throwing shots, nigga.
Huh?
Quit throwing shots, nigga. I heard that.
Hey,
I heard that, nigga. Quit throwing shots, nigga. I
I'm
thought I
just
was gonna let
saying.
that slide. Rich, you thought I was gonna let that slide.
I'm just saying, man.
I just did orange today, man. Come on, man.
I'm just saying, man. There's somebody right now saying you too old for your shirt to be that tight. That's all I'm saying. But
no, okay, serious though. I got a question though. So we saying all this about attention though, right? Can somebody say, well, we sitting here doing, we doing this for attention?
no. I would say that we're doing this to bring awareness. Even with the last 2 episodes, we told stories from our past to give people something to look at, people some alternative looks to kind of base their life on. You know, I've had women contact me for the last few weeks that said, you know, y'all were right. Like, I always thought that a man had to be perfect for me to be with him. I don't know why that was in my mind. I knew I wasn't even perfect myself, but I've always moved in a manner that I felt it was unacceptable for a man to be imperfect if he wanted to be with me. And she said, it made me realize how many men I have ran away, good men, because I expected perfection from them. So we're helping people. Even this is helping people because people are kind of going to step back and look and say, well, why am I doing, you know, some of these things to get attention? You know, why am I spending more time posting pictures and videos of myself than I am working? You know, and again, the brother that I said, you know, posted the money on the bed way back on MySpace, that brother's no longer with us now.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? One of the very conversations that I had with that brother was, you know, that's you opening yourself up to a whole lot of different things by doing that, brother. But you know, it was more so the ooh ah from the cheering section mattered more than my opinion as a friend. You get where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So once you start looking for that validation outside of your circle of friends, and then that carries over into something else. Once you start viewing social media as your friend, that's where a lot of this problem is coming from, because people are starting to believe that social media or Facebook as a whole is a friend, like a human being. So they start to believe that social media itself cares that they're going to get their tooth pulled. You feel me? If I know you've been having issues with your foot and you tell me I'm about to get my surgery, I'm emotionally invested in that as your friend, but that's way different than believing or convincing yourself that social media as a whole cares about your foot. But once you start to believe that, then you start to believe that you need to put on a show for social media as a whole. Like I said, anytime I accomplish something, I want to show y'all my friends. Because I've never convinced myself that social media as a whole care about me. So I'm not going to be doing anything. I mean, and realistically for social media to see. No aspect of my life.
Very real.
Say something, Rich, before I lay into him.
I mean, no, it's legit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta look at your audience. You know, you gotta realize, you know, like I said, like, and like Corey's making a good point. You know, I had never really thought about it. You know, everybody in some way, form, or fashion needs attention from others in their life. Be very true. And then, you know, Skeet made the counterpoint. You got to watch who you're getting your attention from is what it all boils down to, and what you're doing to get the attention. You know, if you're showing, like, you know what I'm saying, there's different ways to get different attention, you know, and, you know, not all attention is good attention. You know, like Corey said, you know, there's a human need for attention, you know, whether it be from your spouse, your family, your friends, you know, sometimes you want an audience who doesn't even know you to give you attention because you put out a product. You know, Skeet's a carpenter, you know, he does good work. He does great, nice, very nice good work. He can show the world, and, you know, he's getting, you know, pats on the back and applause. You know, that's cool. You know, Corey's a creator, you know, he's getting attention. So, you know, that attention from strangers is very cool. But, you know, my personal opinion, when you start embarrassing yourself and doing things make yourself look like an ass, where you just, you know, over glorifying your body, or you just saying things that are off the wall just to get attention, that's where it gets dangerous. Because you get people you don't know judging you, you know. So, you know, it's a fine line, thin line. It's not even really that thin of a line for real, but, you know, there's a separation from, you know, getting good attention and getting attention that can ultimately be harmful for you. But you know, both points are great. You need attention. You just gotta figure out what kind of attention is good for you, and, you know, what's going to be helpful, or, you know, get you to where you need to be. So, you know, Corey just talking about, like, you know, there's some people who are, you know, suffer from, you know, conditions where, you know, being seen, you know, is what do they call it, Skeet? You know, people with, like, social anxieties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, you know, they struggle with, you know, they don't want to be seen, but, you know, they still need attention. So it's multifaceted when it comes down to that. But it's the truth, you know, you gotta, you know, deal with the fact that you need attention in some type of way, and then you gotta realize, okay, how am I gonna go about getting this attention? And it ultimately, when you get attention from people who don't know you, you gotta take it as a grain of salt. You can't really let it, you know, can't let it kill you. You know, so that's super important, you know, to be able to go people you trust and know, and, you know, talk things out, you know, let them be the ones who, you know, show you they have love for you. Don't go looking for love from people you don't know. Because a lot of times it's somebody on the other side of the computer or the phone who just really have to manipulate you and get over on you. So you gotta watch out for that.
You give people, when you do things for the general public, you give people a lot of power. I give you a good example. Like I said, I watched a woman go on and on about should she or should she not post these news that she took since she got her body done. And, you know, it was kind of like she made that people anticipate seeing what her new figure was going to look like, right? But then when she finally said, pretty much the wait is over, bow, look at me, people was kind of like, what the fuck? You got your waist pulled in too small. Your ass ain't really got no shape to it. It's big, but it ain't shapely. They start critiquing her. She literally ran back in her cubby hole, bro. You feel me? Now, and this is for the ladies. That same woman, right? If she just put on regular clothes, right? Let's just say like a business suit, like a blazer, you know, slacks, whatever, and you saw her in the mall, you would be saying, God damn, she bad. You feel me? Because you're not seeing her in an attention-seeking setting, you know, and you're not seeing her in an arena where it's other people trying to get your attention as well. So you're not putting her up against the other 10 women who just came back from getting their body done and judging her by who body looked the best. You seeing her in an isolated vacuum. And your opinion gonna be totally different. Like, damn, shorty bad. But she's not bad in comparison to the other 10 who got their body done. And that's what you kind of do to yourself when you put yourself out there for public attention. Because that critique comes from a whole lot of different angles, you know? And it just never, it never works. Like I said, it becomes something you have to do every day. Like you have to work at it. You know, we men, like, you know, like you backslide in the gym, like you will start seeing a little gut if you backslide. So it's the same way with attention. Like if you doing certain things to get attention, it's like getting your body done, but not working out. We've seen women get back out of shape even after getting their body done. You know, so then we got to double back and get surgery again. You know, or the women who popped out with their bodies done a year ago. What are they doing for attention today when it's a whole new wave of women, you know, getting their bodies done? It just forces comparisons. What about technology? As technology gets better, they might be creating better bodies 2 years from now than the ones that they're doing today. What do? You got to go back again. You see how you got to keep up with it if you want to keep getting the attention?
So
you just remove yourself from that equation.
So if attention is the new drug, can you overdose on it?
Huh? We just sat here and said we've seen people go to the grave chasing attention. Yes, you can overdose. Big time.
Because they go to jail, they can go to the grave or go to jail for it.
Go to the grave, go crazy.
Yeah.
I've seen people lose their mind trying to get attention.
That's the scariest one. You lose your mind. And you come back and go to jail. You go to jail, you know, you make it yourself. You do it's over. But like when you overdose on this shit, like when you go crazy over the shit, that's the one that's the killer.
Man, listen. Play with this. I'm gonna bust y'all head, and it's something y'all never paid attention to. Let's say a woman, for lack of better words, let's just say an unattractive woman makes a post and said, let me see all of the finest men in the tri-state area, right? By no means do you feel the need to go post your picture on her post. Do you? You're gonna scroll right past that. Or you might even scroll back and look at the type of quote unquote corny dudes that jump on the post, right? But look, any man, a fat, one-eyed, never been to the gym, don't get his teeth clean, no nothing, don't brush his teeth, no nothing, can make a post and say, Cincinnati got some of the shittiest bitches in the country. If you a bad bitch in Cincinnati, post up. they run to the post every time. Every time. Every time. Because guess what that guy just did? Even if he's not intelligent enough to understand, he just used psychology. He just put himself at the top of the totem pole and said, here it is. I have the attention to give. Right? Show me that you're worthy of it. And they come running. It's no different than a drug dealer pulling up saying, I got the best weed or I got the best coke, whatever it is. Now you got to chase me down to get it. You know, they always say this applies to any product. Shoot, people line up to buy Jordans. Jordan ain't got to pull up on nobody to sell Jordans. People line up to buy Jordans. It's the same way with attention. If you understand how to manipulate it, you know, you can use it against people. One of the most powerful things I learned from just studying psychology, reading, is the power of not giving people attention, right? I'm notorious for walking into a room and not saying nothing to nobody. Now here it is, I'm 6'1". 6'1", 6'2", 230 solid in the gym. I come in a place with a suit on, don't say nothing to nobody. It always makes people wonder who I am, right? I leave, someone always hops in my inbox. Hey, was that you I saw at such and such? You see what I'm saying? It makes them believe that I'm somebody simply by not giving them attention. So imagine how powerful giving somebody attention is. When you learn to control that, it's a lot of power. That's a lot of power.
And I think y'all said this earlier, but I can't remember. But so let's say you meet a chick out and y'all kicking it, but then you go and look on her social media page because you didn't know her from social media. And on social media, she's constantly posting pictures of herself, constantly posting, half naked pictures, things of that nature. Do that change your imagery of that woman? Or do you take it as she just doing that just for entertainment on social media?
You go first, Rich, and then I got something after that. You might even say what I'm gonna say, but go ahead.
I mean, going into it, all depends on your perception of it going off the top. You meet them how you meet them, whatever perception you have. And then you go on there, sometimes it's going to verify your perception, sometimes it's not. And I think going on there, if you thought the woman was, nice, cool, down to earth, laid back, whatever, and you see the over the top shit on on the social media, it's going to sway you. It's going to open your eyes. It's going to give you, what I'm saying? Sometimes you, hold them to a little bit higher regard than you think you should have after you look at those social media posts. So it can definitely change it. Sometimes it be the opposite. Sometimes you think the woman's the loudest woman in the city. You get on there and, she ain't really got a lot to offer, So yeah, it'll definitely change if it does. If you have a perception of somebody that's not matching up with their social media, it'll change. It'll definitely change you.
For me, if I was single and free to do so. So if I was in a strip club or I was at an event, let's say like the All-Star game or, just an event where it's big parties, and I see a woman that I may know dressed half naked at the event, right? For me, I would be like, oh, she threw her shit on for this. But she would still get the same level of respect, that I have for her prior to seeing her like that. Because I understand the vacuum we in. She wanted to, she been working out, she on her shit. She want to make sure motherfuckers see at this event that she hot. I could respect that. She don't lose no points from me for that, right? That's totally different than her just going live in a dress, half naked, just for the general public to see, because then it's like, is my attention even gonna be enough? If I give you my attention, is it gonna be enough? And that's become a problem as well, where, and I've talked about this on a couple of different things where, as a man, your woman throw on a nice dress and she looking right, and y'all about to step out, and before she even came downstairs for you to see her in it, you look at your phone and she done already posted it to her page for the world to see. You feel me? Now y'all in the car going to wherever y'all going, and she in her phone saying, thank you, y'all. Thanks, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like their opinion matter more than y'all's. Her putting, you might even have bought the dress. You know what I mean? So your wow should have just been enough. But we entered in an era where just one person's attention is not enough. People want all the attention. And to flip it, we've also seen people take that attention and turn them into followers and turn those followers into money, right? So you can't totally knock it, you know, but everyone's not going to hit the same lick. You feel me? So that's just like everyone, that's like you got people who run around being like comedians, like out in the streets doing stupid pranks and stuff like that. And we see that person gain a following by doing so. But imagine you running around Cincinnati acting like a complete idiot in the streets with a camera following you. You see what I'm saying? You chancing it because you might end up making yourself look like a complete fool to the people who know you and the people who respect you. And if it don't catch on, you don't gain a following from it, what do you have after that? But a damaged reputation. You know, so it's the same thing with getting naked or doing anything outlandish for public attention. It's like, if you're doing it to try to gain something, sell something, I mean, you know, like you got the women with the boutiques who put the dresses on and do all of the poses and all of that. And I mean, you know, if that helps you to sell the clothes, more power to you, right? But if you twerking naked and getting naked and showing yourself, you know, getting naked in between trying on outfits and nobody shops with you, what did you gain from getting naked? Nothing. But the Republic seeing you naked.
So does that change your outlook on her then? If you met her and you had this impression of her being one way, but then you get on the internet and you see her a different way.
Again, like I said, it would depend on what she's trying to do. If I see that she's trying to sell her clothes or, because another example, man, I follow this artist on Instagram and I don't really fool with Instagram like that, but this woman, this black woman, she cold with the art, right? Mm-hmm. She do erotic art, all types of art. And, you know, I used to follow her and, well, I still follow her, but I mean, it wasn't like people was gravitating towards her art. I was a 100% fan. Like, wow, this woman is a genius. She got her body done, right? Mm-hmm. Start posting the sexy pictures with the art. Next thing I knew, she was doing erotic art shows all around the country. You know, I watched her get to the bag. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But she had to sit a little, you know, little ass out there, to, you know, to get the bag. But again, like me seeing that, I respect it. And what I would hope is that that sister would be grounded with the man that she's with. And, you know, just letting him know, like, you know, I'm doing this to, you know, advance, you know, my gift. It's part of, you know, my publicity. I'm one of the few people that was hip to Meg Thee Stallion before she became an icon. Meg used to rap on videos on Instagram, just in her neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Bars, right? The sex symbol, Meg was just rapping. I mean, she probably did a little dance here and there, but she was just giving you all bars. Her career didn't take off until she started twerking. Mm. So now seeing Meg twerk outweigh the bars. When I listen to Meg music, it don't even sound better than the music that I heard her. I mean, the bars I heard her spitting on Instagram a few years ago. That Meg completely gone. But again, I understand it because guess what? Y'all probably wouldn't know about Meg Thee Stallion had she not done that. So yes, it works for some people, but I mean, again, we're talking about 1 out of 100,000. It's like hitting the lottery.
So we're going back to the thing where it's hitting the lottery. So you're trying to get the attention. So are people trying to get the attention, right, to sell a product, and the product they selling is themselves?
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that.
So instead of saying they have a business that they promoting for, or a service or anything like that, the product itself is them. So I'm trying to get the attention because I'm trying to sell me. So that could be me selling me to get to have a relationship, or I'm trying to sell me to hopefully better my finances. But at the end of the day, I need this attention because I want to sell me.
Yes, a lot of people are trying to sell themselves without a product. A lot of people are using business as an excuse to try to sell themselves or the attention seek, you know? Because, we in this era now where people say they got an LLC. Now, to somebody who don't know anything about business, they're not going to ask the deeper questions like, what type of LLC? Like, what type of business are you doing? What are you selling? What service are you providing? People be like, yeah, I got my LLC. Now you naked, or you showing money or whatever it is to try to promote your LLC. Nobody even knows what you're selling or producing. So this is about you. You just using the whole business thing as an excuse. This is just about you wanting to show your ass or show your money, whatever it is you're doing. That's all it's about. And again, people think that folks don't see this, but people see this, and this is how people actually looking at you from afar. Like even when they apply in you, they really just want you to run yourself in the dirt.
I was watching some guys. In fact, I think it was Joe Budden's podcast, and it was talking about 6ix9ine, and it was talking about how he was trolling, so he was able to get people's attention. But in terms, he was able to get everybody's attention, but he didn't have a good enough product to keep their attention.
Facts.
Because he just dropped the album. Nobody's really checking for it. They're not really checking for him. He's still doing the trolling, but they used to you doing the trolling now. So it's like, what's next? And then they went even deeper to say like, okay, well, he has all this security around him because people think that he's worthy of the security because he's going to generate this money. But once they see that he's not able to generate this money, they going to stop paying for that security, and then it's going to be his ass.
Mm-hmm. Which that's what's the point where it's at right now. And that falls right in line with what we've been talking about. He never had a product. All he had was attention. The music was never good. I listened to his music. The music was never good. A bunch of screaming and hollering. But people was buying into it just based on the following. You see 1 million, 3, 4, 5 million people looking at something, you think you missing something. But you don't necessarily have to be missing nothing. Now that woman that I mentioned is an amazing artist. So once she get in a room and show her art, she ain't gonna have to show her ass no more.
So with people seeking attention, we should be more, some people should be more in tune to develop a better product first before their attention. And even if that product is themselves, make sure themselves is worthy of their attention.
Well,
Not
there's a
worthy,
difference.
but that can maybe not necessarily worthy, but they can handle the attention and keep the attention going. If they selling themselves, but I guess if they selling themselves, what are they selling themselves for? That'd be the better question.
You go ahead, Rich.
I mean, you got to have a product at the end of the day if you're trying to be in business. Product or service, whatever it is, it's just got to be tight. Because you can get on here, you can generate all the attention, all the social media following, all the backing, all the advertising in the world. You know, it can look good, have the best packaging, you know, be the shiniest, be shown the best, man. If your shit ain't tight, it's eventually gonna show. So yeah, you definitely, you know what I'm saying, getting attention, like shit, getting the popularity is one thing, but like when it comes down to it, like shit, you gotta get in there and produce. So in two different fields. Some people are substance, some people are show. So
that's another thing. You brought up the word popularity. You got people who get attention that aren't popular. When you're popular, people want to come to you, want to be like you. That's a huge difference than people simply looking at you. You know, that's just like a woman who looks good and she posts pictures every morning on your timeline. You might look, right? But she might not necessarily be attractive. So it's nothing that's making you want to get in her inbox or ask her out. You just see her. And that's the same thing with having like a product. You know, a popular product is Jordans. Jordans don't get attention. Jordans is a popular product. People line up to buy Jordans every time they come out. They don't just look at them, they buy them. Attention, you just look and don't necessarily have to buy. Shit. A woman could be selling cupcakes, but she attractive. I might go in her cupcake shop just to look at her. Don't necessarily mean I'm gonna buy a cupcake. I just know she's gonna be in there half naked because that's her selling point is, you know, come look at me half naked while I sell cupcakes. You feel me? Shit, I can just peek through the window at that. There's nothing about that that's gonna make me buy it. And it's just like, no, there's nothing about you showing me your money or your jewelry that's gonna make me like your song. Those two things don't go hand in hand. Money and jewelry don't have anything to do with a song.
But in theory, in hip hop, they do. Well, now J. Cole don't have a chain. He sell music.
You ain't seen Kendrick Lamar with no jewelry.
But I think in music, though, it's just when you're doing music, it's just an imagery that goes along with it.
Yeah, it's the kit. Yeah, you get the kit, the watch, the chain. Mm-hmm. I remember Steve Stoute said that. I think it was in his book or on an interview. He said somebody produced the Hate Me. I think it was the Hate Me Now beat. And he said he asked the producer what did he want for the beat. And I think he said the producer said a kit. And he was like, what's that? And he was like, a watch and a chain. So he said he bought the beat for a watch and a chain. You know what I mean?
Well, could have been expensive watching Shane though.
I mean, yeah, no doubt. I mean, no doubt. But I'm just saying that's just part of that hip hop lifestyle. You know what I mean? But again, and that also changes the conversation to we in this era where people look into celebrities and looking to match the lives of celebrities, which is starting to convince the average person that they are a celebrity. You feel me? So here it is, you running a business or you a teacher or you doing something that your integrity matters and you comparing yourself or you mimicking the life of somebody who's going to make money by not showing integrity. Do that make sense? Like being on Love and Hip Hop and you fight and you being ratchet and all of that, that's part of your paycheck if you on Love and Hip Hop. You a rapper, you throwing money and flexing and telling everybody that they ain't shit. That's part of your persona as a rapper. But when you a teacher, you know what I'm saying? Your integrity matters. So you can't mimic that. But you see them getting attention. You see teachers not getting attention, and you need attention. So then it's like, well, I'm gonna act like them. So you ended up get with guys who not street trying to act like they street because street guys get attention. Street guys trying to act like rappers and celebrities because the rappers and the celebrities get attention. It's a nonstop change. Like, where does it stop?
So it's like all of them starting to become one. It's not. They how you say that they. There's no different lanes. It's all in one lane now. It's all becoming one lane. Just all this attention itself. But still, I think we just gotta. It's good that we sitting here talking about attention, because I mean, all attention ain't bad attention, but it's just when you seeking attention. I think that goes back to say, like, all right, I remember, I think they used to say, like, you chasing the light because, you got star status or something. So
Green said that.
So you chasing that light. So you always trying to get in the light. Whenever something's going on, you chasing that moment for that moment you had 5 years or 10 years ago. So you constantly keep trying to chase that light. You keep trying to chase that moment. But when you chasing that moment, you throw caution in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only thing you think about is how you felt when you did this or when this happened, and you constantly keep trying to reenact that instead of accepting the fact that was a moment that happened in your life, and you need to try to generate new, different moments.
Mm-hmm.
And
especially when you're getting older.
Yeah. Well, you're looking at different. You want different lights. You want different attention. You got this, like what I said earlier. You did this, before, so it's not that exciting to you now. So it's like, okay, what else can be exciting?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because we all want something. We all looking for something new and something different. I mean, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think we've came to the conclusion that you definitely can overdose on attention. And attention, is it a need or a want? I think it's probably both. I think we need attention and we want attention also at the same time. We probably don't, everybody's attention levels may be different. I may not need as much attention as the next person. The next person may need more than me. But I think we all need some form of attention.
I say recognition. I think recognition, I think we lose in that. That's just like, even if someone has a nice body, a nice physique, male or female, right? And you want to be recognized for your hard work, that's different than getting attention.
Valid point.
So a woman who wants recognition for having a nice body could get in a swimsuit contest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be judged amongst women who look good in swimsuits. That's respectable, in my opinion. That's like a man entering a, let's just say, over the age of 40 bodybuilding contest. You know what I'm saying? That's respectable. But that's not the same thing as being new in your timeline every day for just, anyone to see. That's two totally different things. So I think and again, we do our best not to speak in absolutes. So I'm trying to get my opinion. In my opinion, I think people need to get back to recognition. You know what I'm saying? Because recognition is really at the end of the day what matters. If I recognize that you're doing your thing, then I may want to follow you, may want to do business with you.
Wouldn't that go back to you recognize them because of their achievements? Then of their discipline, even if they're talking about their business or, anything. I always say hard work. I say hard work never goes unnoticed, but it may go with not getting no recognition.
Underappreciated.
Yeah, so you can see, like, I don't know, you may drive past this person every day out front cutting their grass, and they got it to the T. You never told them their grass looked good. You never, gave them no attention and no recognition on it. But every day you see that person in the yard doing something to their grass. Now, I don't know, a year may go by, 2 years may go by. You may finally go and say something to them, and you may say, hey, I see you over here every day doing your lawn. Can you do mine just like yours? And I'll pay you whatever. Now, with that person, most likely it's not going to be a money thing because they love to do something in the yard. And with you, you don't mind paying them what they want because you've seen their hard work. They didn't do it for their attention. They did it because it was something they like to do.
Exactly. And you hit the nail on the head. So if they're doing something for attention, when people doing things for attention, you could always sell them short because you know that they seeking your attention. So you could always say, do more if you want my attention. If you want my praise for cutting the line, turn your grass purple. Then I might praise you for it. That's different than you recognizing that he do great yard work. And the same thing with, like, you could even say with rap music. Like, yeah, you're going to see an artist pop out with a gimmick that get attention, that might sell a few records until enough people listen and be like, man, this dude can't rap. Then everybody off of him. You don't hear from him no more, right? But that artist that could rap, once he get his foot in the door, he going to get a Grammy. You see what I'm saying?
He may not get the attention, but he'll get the recognition
early on. But then
or even later on, because there's a lot of people that's not necessarily very popular artists, but they get a lot of recognition in that space.
Yeah, from other artists, and just from people who appreciate music.
Right.
But that goes longer than somebody who just pop out there for that moment and get a little instant gratification and then it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So attention definitely isn't about longevity because it's something that you will have to sustain. That's with anything. You could eat something and you eat it 30 times in a row, it's not going to be as good as it was the first time you tasted it. You might eat it so much you don't even like it no more.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's the same way with attention. You see, and again, like if we go back to just even with women getting their bodies done, I be trying to convince women that I know personally, like, don't even do it. Just work out. Just be the best you that you could be, because everything is going to have to come back around full circle. You see so many women getting their body done, but all it's doing, and we've seen this over the last couple of years, and people don't even realize, how influential or how powerful this is. But the first wave of bodies done, or just even the fake booties when they were just doing them at hotels, was wild. Such and such got a fat ass now, right? That's when they wasn't getting the lipo with it. So they weren't even addressing the stomach or anything. They just getting a fat ass in a whole, getting shot up in a hotel. But that's still garnered a while, right? But then we went to the next level where they getting the lipo, breast reduction, hips and ass, right? That make those the original women who just got their ass blew up obsolete. They got to go get that shit took out and redone to get attention in this new era. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So then it's gonna progress again because, like I said, technology gonna keep advancing. They were just talking about on ESPN how ACL or Achilles used to be a career-ending injury just 5-10 years ago. Now these guys coming back off them type of injuries in 6 months to a year and still having a career because technology done advanced. So 2 years from now, bodies are going to be better. You're gonna always find yourself, like once you get on it, you're gonna just find yourself on that same train. Just keep trying to get attention, and it's gonna fade because new people gonna come in and get attention. And again, it goes back to when we was talking about the whole competition between young and old. When you get locked into that, like, oh, I look better than these young girls, or these young guys ain't got nothing on me, right? How old are you gonna be and you're gonna still be saying that? 70? When do you get off the train?
All right, what you say about the women and you using the bodies and things of that nature for the women seeking attention. And then the men, we saying with men, we seek attention via what? Money, jewelry, all the what they call that? All the accoutrements of success.
Yeah.
So, but my question is, all right, so I don't know, what's gonna be the next wave then? So you saying, the first wave was guys showing money, putting money up to their ear. Then it went to maybe guys showing money and jewelry. Then it went to maybe guys showing money, jewelry, and guns. What's gonna be the next thing then? Then it was probably guys showing money, jewelry, guns, cars. Then it went to money, jewelry, cars, guns, and house. So now what? The niggas gonna have to show that they bought an island. Gotta show the islands next.
Well, it went to business. Remember, it was drugs, money, jewelry, cars, house. Now it's LLC. Generational wealth. You know what I mean? So now we at that point. But then again, so once everybody get on that wave, then like you said, like what's the next wave? It's just gonna keep on escalating.
But isn't that just a natural progression just of people?
No, because you'll be more happier if you get off the train. See, and that's why, women value male perspective. Like I said from jump. Women in this era have forgotten that they had baby daddies and boyfriends long before there was a plastic surgery, right? Meaning someone found you attractive long before you could blow your ass up. You know what I'm saying? You haven't lost your attractiveness, but what you're doing is comparing yourself to the world. You feel me? So even when the baddest Black woman finally achieved the perfect manufactured physique, right? What happens when a Russian woman do it or an Asian woman do it? You get what I'm saying now? So now it's gonna be like, oh, damn, look at the Asian chick with the fat ass and little waist. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the attention might go away from the Black woman. It might go to the Asian woman. It might go to the Russian woman. It just, it just can't, it's just going to be nonstop. There's no way to get off the train unless you just hop off the motherfucker. So what you gonna do next? Make your skin pale and slant your eyes to look Asian?
They might.
They might. But I'm saying there's still gonna be something after that. It's still gonna be something after that. So then what you gonna do? Unslant your eyes? Like they said, them first wave of booties was too big, so people going back getting a smaller booty. You know what I'm saying? So when everybody got a small one, what you gonna do? Go back and get the big one?
It's true life.
So it's a natural progression just to keep wanting more and more attention.
Or you could just
Unless
stop
you get
wanting
off the
attention.
train. But
Or you
then
could just stop wanting attention.
human nature is the next group of people gonna want more attention. And they gonna figure a way out to get more attention. Next generation.
Or they might OD.
Good.
Yeah. Don't rule that out. Motherfuckers might go crazy.
I mean, you hear people say, I don't want no attention, but do they really show that they don't want no attention?
Some people do. Because like I said, I know it's plenty of attractive women, there's plenty of handsome men, there's plenty of successful men, successful women that aren't on the internet showing that off every day. You know people with big stupid houses that ain't took not one picture in their house. You know, people with 7 cars in their garage that ain't took one picture of a car. You know, women with bodies who ain't showed off on the internet. You know what I mean? So there are still people out here who don't move like that. And guess what? It's more wild to them when you see them. I had a discussion with this chick that managed strippers. I can call her a chick, this woman that managed strippers. And I was telling her, like, you see your dancers twerking all day live on the news feed. I mean, all day long on the news feed, right?
Mm-hmm.
We losing the allure of the stripper. You see what I'm saying? Because you seeing it, it's too common. You seeing regular women twerking, you seeing strippers twerking, right? You don't even feel the need to go nowhere now to an event to throw your money. You already seen it. If you're trying to sex one of them, you can just inbox them. Hey, I saw that twerk. What up? I got 500. I got whatever. I got X amount of whatever it is. You know what I mean? You just contact them now and just bypass the whole going to see them dance. I don't even need to see that no more.
Well, we're coming to the end of recording time. I know I said that for 2 hours. I think we didn't hit on a lot of great points. Let's hit on some parting shots. Corey, what do you learn from this, Corey?
Oh, what I learned from it? My shirt ain't too tight, niggas. I just did arms.
I knew it's coming back to the tight shirt.
Nah, this thing is a little tight, though. I can't even front. I didn't know it was just tight. But nah, for real. My thing is, though, real talk, though, y'all, I'm just trying to just get a better understanding of it all that's going on. Like, you know, we all sit back and say, like, you know, they're attention seeking, they fucked up from on that, they doing this and doing that. But now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but when you can find an understanding of certain things, you can see when you can find an understanding in it, you can sit back and figure out how you can make sure you don't fall into that situation. And then if you see somebody you know fall in that situation, you can explain to them in a way that's not the route to go. But you got to find some type of understanding in it all, man.
So I can dig that.
What about you, Felipe?
Yeah, you got a parting shot.
For me, I've been reading about, like I said, I was in school. I took social networking as a class. You know what I mean? So I've been reading about it over the years, and a lot of the things that they were predicting is happening. So a lot of the things that we think that we're doing just for fun or just because it's part of our personality, we've been manipulated into doing these things. And I see it and I know it. So I kind of know where the train gonna wreck at. You feel me? I've seen a few people wreck so far. You know what I mean? Because when you need the attention of everyone, all that attention is not gonna be positive. I just said the other day, when people come to the news feed asking for prayers for something that maybe have happened to someone in their family, they forgetting that the people who are on the opposite side of that is on the news feed too. You feel me? Your child done something to somebody, robbed somebody's child or shot somebody's child or cousin, uncle, brother, whatever. You know, the people who are on the opposite side of that, you know, who felt like your family member deserved that is online too. You know, so when you chasing sympathy online, you might get somebody that say, fuck you and your family. You see what I'm saying? Because you reaching out to the World Wide Web. That www means something. That's the World Wide Web. That's a lot of people you trying to impress, man. You can't impress everybody.
Hell no.
All you can do is just keep waking up every day, coming up with some new shit to try to keep yourself relevant, and then eventually you're gonna go crazy. Mm-hmm. And let me say this. I'm not knocking nobody for attention seeking, right? But what I'm saying is forward think. Just forward think. Where is it getting you? Where has it gotten you? Where is it getting you? And where do you think it's gonna take you?
What's your take on the Richie Rich?
Ah, man, it's, you know, I've always thought it was fairly dangerous, you know, needed at some point, fairly dangerous when you overdo it. So, like you said, World Wide Web, man, just be aware who you reaching out to, what you doing for the attention. A lot of this shit, like you do things on here that, you know, will be embedded in people's heads forever. You know, some people just don't forget things. So, you know, just, you know what I'm saying? Just be careful when you're out here trying to get attention. You're trying to do your thing. You want to get your popularity up and you want to, you know, be seen. So just watch yourself. Be cool.
Let me say this last thing, ladies, because you know it's attention affects women in ways that it doesn't really affect men, because men, we not necessarily critiqued by our parents. Like I said, the most unattractive man can make a post and call all the women in the city shitty, and women will come trying to impress him on his post. So we not affected by it in the same manner as women, which is why in an era where you got men who won't even go get their teeth cleaned or critiquing women who have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on their bodies. But what I want the women to understand is that that's not all men see. A fat ass, a little waist, yes, that might be eye-catching, but that's not all men see. Men see a lot of different things. I can remember being a little boy and they were saying that Asian women had slanted vaginas. You feel me? So just because you dating a woman with a black woman with a big ass and a little waist, that doesn't make a slanted vagina any less intriguing. You know, that doesn't make a tall WNBA player who's on the thin side but cute, that don't make her any less attractive. You know, attractiveness doesn't fit in the box, just like beauty doesn't. All flowers are different colors, animals different shapes, different sizes, the planets all different sizes. All of the things that we admire differences. That's just nature. Like everything in nature is different. So when everything starts to look the same, it's just gonna make it common and boring.
I can dig that. I think that concludes it right there, y'all. I think we summed it up and we hit it all.
Cool, bro. We'll definitely probably back a little bit quicker to do the next one. So let's go ahead and start working on the topic. We'll go ahead and double back, maybe even about the end of the weekend or early in the week. We'll knock another one. I like the way this one went.
All right. There it is, big dog. Talk to y'all later.
All right, cool,
Peace.
cool.